Hi there, Bill and Amber. Thank you for agreeing to do this video review for me here. So we've been working together for a few months now, and I would like for you to share with us the reasons that you first sought my help and how things have been going so far. So yeah, go ahead, Amber.
First of all, our son has always been very, I guess, strong-willed, as you would say. He would do his own things with just not listening. We would try and direct him, and a lot of times he would just run off and not listen, and we just knew something was wrong because daycare would tell us that he would be really defiant and make choices of wanting to sleep longer, so he would take off his clothes to try and get his way. We've had many complaints from daycare, and then when he started school, we'd have many complaints of behavioral issues, of him going under tables, being very defiant and wanting to do what he wanted, just acting out a lot. A lot of people would tell us that he wouldn't listen, and I just knew something was not right with him, maybe like psychologically, just because he wasn't in what I viewed as the norm with our other children, and he just would get into these tempers and just go into a tangent sometimes. And sometimes I just felt like there wasn't a full communication between parent and child, just because he had thoughts running through his head that we couldn't control, and then we didn't understand where he was coming from, and so we decided to come and seek some professional help and figure out what was going on with him.
What were some of the diagnoses that were, told to you about your son?
It did come to the point where at first, when we were first starting out this whole process, a lot of people would come and said maybe he's autistic, maybe he's got ADHD or ADD, and then it turned out that we figured out that he does have ADHD, um, where he gets very distracted easily, and his mind was going all the time, and he just wasn't able to control his the way he was acting, I guess, due to his diagnosis.
Yeah, and then so then when where you met, the school had actually sent a lot of information about
Yes,
his
they did.
behaviors, and so what we figured is that he is probably on the spectrum.
Correct.
And so those, him not wanting to wear certain t-shirts with long sleeves, and some of these,
on sleeves,
all of those were really
stuff in his mouth.
a lot of these sensory stimulation kind of behaviors is what, there was a reason why he was doing that.
Correct.
But at the same time, he was not able to express himself very well.
You're correct, yes.
And then the ADHD, what we figured is that it's really a brain that was nutrient deficient.
Yes.
And irritable and inflamed. I think that's how I put it.
Yes, yes.
So can you share with us, what you guys have done, and what was the treatment plan like?
Well, with your direction, we've changed his diet and cut out dairy was the big one, and sweets, sugars, carbs, trying to stick to more of a paleo-organic diet, and along with the supplements that you provided, we've noticed a dramatic difference, and not just us, some of my friends are like, wow, we say and listening and not being so distractive all of the time. I'm not going to say it was like a light switch. He didn't turn into an angel, but it in the couple of months' time we've been doing this, there's a marked improvement, noticeable by us, but being parents, you're kind of biased towards your own children, but also by other members of society, friends, family, people at school. They do a grading system at school. What is that chart called where they give them points? You had to get 46 points or whatever.
I can't think of what that's called.
But they had a scoring system, and there was throughout different parts of the day, different subjects, he was given a score 0, 1, 2, or 3, based on behavior, readiness, and
Scorecard.
attention, on his scorecard.
He had to get
And
at
his
least
minimum acceptable
42.
was 24.
Mm-hmm.
And before we started treatment, it wasn't irregular to get scores throughout the day of 15, 18. A good day might be 25. And within weeks after the treatment started, his average went from that to an average day for him was a 26 or 27.
No,
And,
higher than that.
Well, those were
in the beginning.
Those were in the beginning, and then it was towards another week later. It was almost always perfect scores, or you could tell when he
higher 30s to the 42.
It was minimum 32 every day, and then
So that's amazing. So it was not only noticeable, but there was an objective evidence that what we were doing was really working.
And that was all given by the teachers.
Good. I don't think I knew of it, but that really, that makes me happy to hear that it was, objectively.
Makes us happy.
Yeah.
He still had his bad days, but every child has bad
Yes.
days. And that's
You're not going to fix it 100% right away.
Yes. Yeah. But the big thing is that, so his ADHD behaviors, what we saw, what people thought was as hyperactivity and all of that, they also improved. And we didn't have to put him on any stimulants. It was really about understanding why he was, his brain was behaving that way.
Yes.
And removing those triggers and helping him to function at his best.
Yes.
And we had people who were negative about the whole process towards us, and we said, no, we're just going to give it a try. And we were glad we did, because we did see a huge improvement. And even his sitter, a good example, his sitter noticed it huge, because she took care of him when he was younger, and then she hasn't had him for 2 or 3 years, and now she has him again. And she said, wow, this is a huge improvement. This isn't even the same kid that I used to take care of. And it was cool to see that, because she saw how he was super overactive compared to now when he's had the treatment. Where she has seen, and there was enough of a gap, I guess, to have noticed the difference.
Wonderful. And again, it's not possible if you all, making these lifestyle changes is a big challenge, and especially in Wisconsin, to give up cheese.
Yes, that was the hardest thing. Grant loved cottage cheese, and to take that away from him, it's like taking your child's favorite toy away. Nobody wants to do that.
But that's
for his well-being.
For his well-being, yes. And it is going to be a process of teaching ourselves as well as our children as to what is going to be in the best interest of our health, because ultimately health is wealth.
Definitely agree.
It's definitely well, go ahead, Bill.
I was a person I look up to a lot from work. He told me something, and it really kind of strikes true. He said, if you wake up in the morning with your health, I'm like, that's really true.
That is true. Yes, it is absolutely true. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for sharing your experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome.